What is going on, entertainment? So today I'm coming to y'all with another Hollywood Hot Topics. First of all, screw Natalie Nunn. Let me tell y'all why. That lady is a scammer. I was on her live just now, and she was doing like giveaways. So she was doing Q&A giveaways. So if you answer something right, you get like a prize, like a hoodie or something like that. I answered at least by like 2-3 questions right. Next thing you know, she picking these random people with like blue checks or people that she's known for a long time. She's like, "Hi, Jamie, you get a jacket. Oh, hi, Celia, you get a hoodie." I'm mad. I'm real mad because I answered right by like 2 or 3 times. Screw you, Natalie. Oh, I just had to throw that in there because that really has me feeling away. I feel scammed. Natalie. Oh, okay. All right. So first thing I wanted to get into, y'all, is the NeNe interview. She sat down with Bethenny Frankel and gave her like a tell-all interview after she did one with Carlos. You shouldn't have gave that lady that interview. Period. Let me tell y'all why. That lady did not do her research at all. My whole thing is, if you're gonna do an interview with somebody, that's why all my guests, when I ask them certain questions, they be shocked because I really try to do my research. Because it's like, I'm not gonna interview you and not know a lot of ick about you, not the show you've been on, none of that. Because it's like, how am I gonna know what to ask you if I don't know at least most things or some things at least about you? So that way I could go a little bit deeper into the questioning. Some of the stuff that she was asking is already public knowledge. So you're wasting time even talking about this stuff because we've heard it 1,000 times before. She didn't even know that NeNe admitted that she was a stripper on the show. Like, everybody knows that. NeNe came out on like season 1 and said she was a stripper. So she was a stripper. So like, how did you not know that? That to me is crazy. Like, she made it seem like somebody exposed her being a stripper and NeNe had to admit it. NeNe never had to do that. Like, the whole interview was just like, oh, it was 2 parts. It was long. I just hated the fact that she gave her this interview because Bethenny, I know, profited a whole lot off of this interview. All those ads that were running through those Spotify 2-parters, I know she was making good coin off of it. So you really let this lady low-key finesse you. She probably got paid a good coin for doing the interview, but still, I feel like she shouldn't have did the interview, in my opinion. Like, no, that was a waste. So she starts off the interview, and then also, you have some nerve, Bethenny. She did. Twitter go do his research. So the fact that her interview was announced, people started doing their due diligence. They started doing their research. So like years ago, Bethenny tweeted something about, like, I guess, Atlanta Housewives. Okay, and she said something real interesting. She said this, y'all. So look at Twitter. Hold on. Not this one. Like, child open. That child's open. All right, she says, is excited to watch Real Housewives in the Hood now. Will Sheree put a cap in Kim's ass? Just ate at Dave's Grill and Moon Talk. Finally did yoga. Not gonna lie, Keith at this tweet because it's racist. But yeah, you thought we just forgot about that? Huh? Like, it's gonna go out of our memory. I can't. And you know what's funny? You could tell NeNe contemplated on doing an interview because she said it herself. She said she went back and forth and doing the interview, back and forth and doing the interview. But she really just sat down one day and was just like, okay, fine. Let me do the interview. You shouldn't have did it. You shouldn't have did it. Okay. So first she starts off the interview with giving her props. She was like, oh, you know, you're like one of the goats at the reality television. She always called her a star. You know, she buttered NeNe up so NeNe could kind of get ready to answer her question. So she buttered NeNe up. NeNe loves compliments. So NeNe kind of took it in. And then afterwards, they talk about reality TV and basically how her, Bethenny, putting out a request for Bravo to make changes, and sort of like a lawsuit or whatever for Bravo to change its practices, it went through a lot sooner than NeNe speaking out. Like people took more notice of it quicker than they took of NeNe speaking out, and how she felt a way about that and threw a little bit of shade towards Bethenny. So Bethenny kind of not called her out on it, but they sort of talked about that. And she was NeNe basically felt like it was fast. Like Bethenny got her way quick. Like Bravo responded quickly, and the media picked up on it quickly. While NeNe's been tweeting and saying this for years, and nobody has cared about what she has to say. So she talked a lot about that. She felt as if you know that kind of made her go back and forth between coming and actually doing the podcast with Bethenny, which you guys can find on Spotify. So we find out some things about NeNe's upbringing, which some of us has known before. How she came up, how her mom sort of not gave her away, but wasn't that much active in her life, especially after she found a new man, and she felt like she was sort of abandoned at some points in her life. She talked about how she started being like a stripper and stuff like that, and how she liked it, and how she met Greg. So then that whole date story with Greg was so cute. I said, "Oh, NeNe loved her some Greg." So that was kind of sad to hear in the interview because she really loves Greg. Okay. Bethy, like I said, did not know anything about her being a stripper. Basically, she was trying to allude that Claudia was the one who exposed that she was a stripper. Because you remember when Claudia was just like, "Oh, you was a stripper," and then NeNe was like, "I was a stripper and I liked it." You remember when she did that? I guess she was trying to say that Claudia exposed her, but like that was like a decade later that we knew about that, so that wasn't her exposing her. She talked about getting Real Housewives of Atlanta together and how they didn't want a white woman on there. And when they got Kim on there, when she walked in, Kim came in with her cigarette. She was like, you know how Kim do? She came with her cigarette, and they were like, "Oh my god, like this is a different type of white woman," and they cast her on the show. And that's when NeNe goes into like sort of like the discrimination of it all, and she feels like Kim got away with a lot because she didn't go on cash trips. Bethenny's like, "Wait, Kim didn't go on cash trips?" This I'm talking about research. Everybody knows that watches the show, at least from the beginning. Kim never went on cash trips. She didn't go to Africa. That turned into a whole thing because then they were saying she didn't want to hold African babies. She didn't go to Barcelona. She didn't go to like half of the cash, like all of the cash trips except for Miami. Everybody knows that. So how she didn't do her research enough to really find that out to me blows me. Like there's just certain things that you should know as common knowledge. I don't care. And her be a housewife makes it worse. Like, come on. It's like she didn't care to do the interview like that. Or like she did it last minute. It was like on a whim. It's like, oh well, it's like a little throwaway. That's why I feel like NeNe shouldn't have did it. So then we finally get to the nitty-gritty of the season. So she talked about her demotion, and they called her one day and basically was just like, "Oh, like, we're gonna offer you a few episodes, like we're gonna have to have you really sit out a lot of this season and so on and so forth. And we want you to come back. But when we want you to come back, we want you to come for Candy. Okay?" And then she said no. Now, this was shocking to me. This is the first time I ever heard of this. Now, that was a good one that she got out this interview. So them saying that they want her to come for Candy, like explains a lot. Bravo slick, allegedly, because for them not wanting for them wanting NeNe to go after Candy, that means they wanted her to go after Candy so Candy could quit and Candy could be frustrated and not want to come back because Candy gets paid a lot of money. So I think they were doing that strategically, basically using NeNe to kind of bump off somebody with a high pay rate. And that way they can have two people not on the show that's getting paid a good amount. So that way they could kind of even out their budget. That's what I really feel like they were doing. And they kind of did it in a slick way, but NeNe was smart enough not to fall for it. So that was an interesting tidbit that I never heard NeNe talk about before in other interviews at all. So they asked her, about the lawsuit. The thing with NeNe though is like you keep doing these interviews and it's not really going to do anything for you. I get it's good to keep speaking out, but it's like, what's next for you? Like, what are you going to do next? That's why with Johnson, like, say what you want about that lady, but she had a plan and she stuck to it. That damn cabaret, half of them girls can't dance. Well, not on this tour. They actually could dance on this tour, like strip dance. But like, you feel me? Like the cabaret didn't look like it made no sense or whatever, but that lady stuck to that thing till it worked. NeNe to me never found nothing that like worked. She did the restaurant and like it kind of failed. It didn't go through whatever. She didn't do any show with the restaurant, which I think would have did amazing. Had she did her own show with the actual restaurant, filming it, having people film the restaurant and her employees and do like her own Vanderpump Rules, I think that would have been lit. Like she never did anything after leaving the show that like stuck, that cemented her into being successful after the show. And that's what sucks with a lot of these housewives because they never end up finding that niche after they leave the show to really be successful. It's kind of like they get off and it's like they fall off. So that's what bothers me with NeNe, with going on these press tours. Because what's the reason for it? Now, are you really trying to contact Bravo to get on back on the network? Do you want a whole lot of money from them? I just don't get the reasoning. I do agree with a lot of stuff that she said in the interview, like she said on Carlos. I feel like Carlos should have been one of her last interviews. Because he actually gave a crap to even, he knows her. Bethenny don't know you like that. And it's like, I feel like she didn't care like that at all. So, no. She says a lot of things, dealing with the favoritism and, sort of the discrimination about certain housewives and how they were able to come back. Y'all know Vicky's back on the OC and certain people and stuff like that. That I all agree with. Everybody, I think, agrees with that. There's certain things that you see on Atlanta and Potomac that they kind of give them less than type of quality versus Beverly Hills and OC, where they give them such high quality where they get to go on the private jets, do this, do that. And then Atlanta, they riding on buses. Or they taking a vans. They arguing on the bus to Miami. Like it looks like a church bus. Like, oh my God, like a church bus to Miami on Potomac. So it's like, I get what she means by that. Like that's the 100% valid. Me watching the show, I always peep that. Like they give them like the cheap stuff, and everybody else gets like all the nice stuff. Okay, so yeah, the interview I think was like a 3 out of 10 because Bethenny, and she keep cutting people off too. Like, I have a tendency to cut people off, but like if I cut you off, I'm gonna let you finish. I'm not gonna keep talking. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, Bethenny talks like she's eating ants. Like, so like, yeah, like definitely, like, that's what I knit. Like, so like, yeah, so like, Kim never took trips. Oh, okay. Like, so like, what trips did she take? Like, I don't know. Like the answer just eating up in her mouth. Like it's really irritating. Oh my God. Okay. Right, go to the next topic. Make sure you guys hit that like button.
Princess in this. Shout out to my bitch Hazel E. And I didn't know it was a crime to support your homegirls online. And for you trolling ass, nappy headed ass, trolling ass, you know where to find me. Lauderdale hoe. Oh, ain't she cute?
Ooh, ain't she cute? Okay. Next I wanted to get into you guys is Britney Renner. I don't know why this made news. This to me was very stupid. So she did an interview with Sharp. Okay. But she basically revealed that she has 35 bodies. So everybody went up in arms because some people felt like that was a whole lot of bodies. I, for one, for her age, Britney Renner is 31. I didn't think that that was that much bodies for her age. Y'all gotta understand. These old hens, let me stop. She's not an old hen, but like for her age, I just don't think that was an extreme amount. You guys would have thought that she said over 100. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was gonna be higher than that. I really thought it was gonna be higher than that. I really feel like the way Shannon reacted to it was a little bit too much, as if he's over there sitting on under 35. He's probably sitting over 100 as all bodies. So don't do that. He's over here like, it wasn't that high of a number, my guy. Like, that's Britney Renner, for God's sakes. The bitch is bad. Like, I really expected over like near 70 or something like that. Like, to be honest. So I really think it was low. She is going to be on Basketball Wives this season, so I'm really excited to see what she's going to be bringing. They did drop the full cast photo of them, and this season she's going to be probably sort of like a villain from what it looks like, to be honest. So I'm excited to see what she's going to bring on the show. Okay, so here is the full cast photo that she reveals. I know Shawnee's somewhere laughing at her body count, strolling up her nostril. She 35. Okay, here's the full cast photo right here. From left to right, we got Brooke. We got GloRilla. Now, she reminds me of GloRilla. That's Big Loud. You can't tell me no different. She talk like GloRilla. She act like GloRilla. I follow her on social media. I'm just saying. Next, we got Jackie. You know, she was excited that the cast photo theme outfit was black. We got Shawnee Nostril Neals. We got Vanessa at the bottom. Evelyn's back. Now, y'all know how I feel about Evelyn coming back. Y'all fired Erica and brought back Evelyn. Isn't that funny? Jennifer, which I think Jennifer's time, Jennifer has had 9 lives as a basketball wife. She is the basketball wife's cat. Because I think her storyline has ran so much of its course seasons ago, but they continue to bring her back. I really feel like she knows and she's friendly, very friendly with somebody in production, or she gives Shawnee O'Neal like 25% of her check. Because Jennifer to me is not that interesting. And last season, I know she got into it with Jackie, which was this whole thing, but I didn't even find that interesting to me. It's just like, ugh. And last, of course, we got Britney Renner. So apparently, Britney Renner has gotten into it a lot with Evelyn this season. Most of the cast, she says she's not friends with like at all. So I'm excited to see that because we're missing. I call it the Drea Royce aspect, where like we have a girl who's kind of like a weirdo to the rest of the cast, and they don't care that they're like the misfit out of the cast. So that's why I'm excited to see Britney. I like her. Okay. Next I want to get to y'all, GloRilla. So there's this thing going around that like GloRilla is done. Like people feel as if that her time has come. And I want to talk about why is that? Why are people saying that about her? Because of Sexy Red. A lot of people feel like Sexy Red has come and literally taken her spot, and now she's a thing of the past. And I want to know, entertainers, do you guys agree with that? Somebody even tweeted something earlier and said, GloRilla, we'll remember your run from May 2022 through September 2022, but it's over. And then she said, B, I never gonna win. I'll bet your dollar to your name, bitch, nigga. So Glo, to me, the reason why is because she doesn't change her flow. So people are getting sick of it. Sexy's music is so catchy, and she has a very similar aesthetic to GloRilla, so people are comparing them to each other off the bat. But with Sexy, the same thing can happen to her that's happening to GloRilla. If she doesn't switch it up soon, people are gonna get sick of it eventually. But I think where Sexy does right, those beats are fire. She has, you could tell she has that ear, or her team has that ear. They know what's gonna hit the clubs. They know what's gonna make the bitches ass shake. I don't think GloRilla's team has that ear, or they lost that ear now. Okay. Whoever said that was a whole asshole. I don't think she's gonna fall off completely, but I do think that her light will dim just a little bit. She did drop a new track or a couple new tracks, and this is one of them. Put Cha 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 in there on a Wally beat. I don't like the Cha Cha Cha. Like Sexy, had she got this beat, she would have ate. Now this to me is a good beat, but Sexy would have ate on that verse. That's what I'm talking about. You gotta have that ear. Some people's team, I feel like, are honest to them. They're not saying like, hey, like, okay, like you shouldn't do this. Like they don't want to make the artist mad. And I think that's kind of what's messing up with music nowadays is the people's teams are not hard on the artists as much, or they're not as critical on the artists as they should be. Or the artist is around too much yes men. They agree with every song that they're putting out. They agree with whatever song that they're going for, instead of giving them some constructive criticism and trying to sort of kind of gear them towards like a different direction. Here's another track that GloRilla recently, I guess it's going viral on TikTok, y'all.
Big booty hoes, and I'm calling out the big booty bitch. Pop your shit, bitch. Pop your shit, bitch. Oh, God. Don't call me sook. I am not your sister. I will fuck your man. I know how to throw that ass, and the bitch can throw them hands.
See, that's the problem right there. The lyrics are becoming repetitive too. And you know what's crazy about the lyrics? They don't. It sounds like a parody. Y'all ever heard of parody lyrics? There's certain lyrics I feel like it sounds like a parody of an actual real song. Like that's not what they actually said on the song. Her raps are starting to sound like that. I like GloRilla though. I think her attitude is great. You can tell that she's a positive person overall. She doesn't let the internet get to her. That's the first time I've ever seen her clap back to a hater. So I think she'll stick in the industry for as long as she can, just based off of that, because she won't let the hate and the trolls and stuff really get at her, and she'll continue going whether people like it or not. So that's what's gonna make her stack. Okay. So Mona, you guys did an interview. Mona's so full of ish. Let me tell you something. Mona is a slick talking thou. You know Mona's Haitian, right? Scott Young. She's Haitian. Okay. So she did an interview. I'm Haitian too, so I can say that. She did an interview with Angela Yee, and they talked to her about the whole Erica Mena situation. I know y'all sick of hearing about it. And y'all know some people were blaming Mona because they feel like she ended up getting Erica fired after she used Erica for all these years of entertainment and storylines and stuff like that.
13 years, that machine is self-sustaining. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in the field. I'm not, and I know it's hard for people to understand that, which is why, it's like a double-edged sword, right?
When she says she's not in the field, she's not talking about getting out in the field and fighting. Okay, out in the field means for production people that don't know, day-to-day people, like let's say you have a production assistant, a production director that's actually there, facilitating scenes, directing scenes. That's out in the field. So she's not doing that no more. Like y'all know back then when Kimbella and Erica fought, and then they were shaking in them silver. Sorry. Every time I see Erica, I think of when she threw that glass at Kimbella. And they were doing the cha-cha slide like GloRilla up and down the Miami corridors. They said, but y'all saw Mona in those scenes. That means she was out in the field. She was there. Okay?
And be like, oh, here I am to provide the opportunities and for the accolades, and then be like, oh, that backlash.
Right. I'm not involved.
Don't bug me with the backlash. So I know that people are going to have their narratives, what they want to believe. And I'm not about to sit there like this, going back and forth.
Oh,
right?
Right. Handled.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, what was that? Mona?
That was very simply that the network had put out their statement, mm-hmm. and they had handled it.
Right.
So people were coming to me, and what they don't understand is at this point, I see the show on the same basis.
By the way, I love to work for Mona. Like, baby, that's like not a goal of mine, but like that would be a dream of mine. Like, to me, she's a genius. Say what you want about Mona, but she literally put Black reality television, one of the ones that put Black reality television on the map. Period. Like, say what you want. People have copied off of Love and Hip Hop. They've bit off of Love and Hip Hop's concepts, confessionals, all of that. Like, it is what it is. Like, you got to give the lady her props.
And they see the show.
Okay, so you're like,
right?
Oh, damn.
I'm not, I'm not involved with the cuts anymore. I'm not in the field. The cast will tell you this. Mm-hmm. There is actually a group of, because people are always like, oh, the man, where are the Black people making show? There's a group of Black women, mm-hmm. On the ground making this show. And so it's like the whole idea that everything, but that's been since day one.
Right.
So it's hard for me to say at this point, well, I wasn't there. And so I let it ride, and I hope that it,
you hope that
it rides out and it corrects itself, because I do believe that, the network saw this as a teachable moment, right? I know that they did some kind of a digital piece at the end of.
This is what I call BS on Mona, because you're acting as if you don't know what's going on. Somebody in the comments said, Mona's a liar. And it was like, you know how I know? Because I'm a liar too. Like, I'm telling you. I call pure cap. The cap is really on your head, Mona. Okay? The actual wig cap is a lot on your head. Oh, my God.
It's the cap for me.
Yeah, the cap is on your hair, on the top of your head.
The cap is
the
on
wig
your
is the
hair.
cap.
Because because regardless if she was on the field or not, it's still Mona Me Productions, because it's at the end of the show. They still have to at some point kind of keep you informed as to what's going on, especially when it comes to decisions like this. I doubt it's something they're able to make without having some sort of input from you. So that's why I call a little bit of cap on it, especially with them doing a whole digital piece off of it. I bet they had to kind of decide who should be there, because they could have easily had Erica on there to educate her, and then it would have ended up in a whole fight. So I know they had to kind of run by past you, or an assistant of yours, something. So don't act like you watching it with us and you just popping up like, oh, they fired her. No, Mona, we know what you did. Like, come on now.
This, but I'm not day to day on the franchise anymore. I'm making movies now. Love and Murder,
right?
Atlanta
Scripted,
Playboy. I'm doing scripted, making movies, expanding. Created a platform, created an opportunity, right? Put it in the hands of folks. Shout out to LaShawn Browning, Antoinette Media, Donna Edge Rochelle. There is a team, of Black women doing this show.
So Mona said, it's not me no more.
I'm just saying. But
so Mona Erica caught a win of this, and she said,
13 years.
Mona, you're saying that fake Olivia post wasn't you handling anything? Okay, handling things better than the handler. Just you desperately trying to save face, just like this next network is. Got it. So she's referring back to the post that said handled. See, that's why Mona, you so trigger happy putting on posts and stuff like that. Mona, let me tell you what Mona did. Mona got her lick back. Because when Erica left Love and Hip Hop, she trashed the show. Like, before she came back, she was just like, oh, she'll never go back. Oh, it's so trashy. It makes people just look bad. Oh my God, it's so edited. But now she's like, okay, you want to do that? I'm gonna fire you in Atlanta, and she got you back. Basically, Mona got her lick back. That's what I really think it is, to be honest. But Mona just trying not to explain that. That's what I think, in my opinion. Okay. And I still don't feel bad for Erica. I'm sorry. I don't care how much nobody puts it. It's Spice, to be honest. It's your fault that now Safari is going to have to pay more in child support, because now she just lost a huge source of income. So now she's going to want more in child custody care. I'm just saying. I know it's some sort of appeal or some sort of motion she could probably make now that she lost a huge source of income, and she's going to need more support for her children. Okay, so you're really going to cost Safari some money, and I know he's not going to be too happy with you. I'm just saying, don't y'all think that's what's going to happen? So Blueface's mom, you guys, feels like Megan Thee Stallion would be on Blueface's caliber, in that, she should give her son a chance.
Come on now. Stop playing with me. My son ain't about to. Megan and Blue need to make a baby. Yes, I don't know why y'all was trying to act like she too good for my son. The bitch just got in the foot. Come on now. Stop playing with me. My son ain't about to in no foot. He might in that ass, but he ain't gonna in the foot. Don't try to play my baby like Megan too good for my son. Bitch, the last doing push-ups right now. No offense. No offense. I mean, because my son been in jail. I with people. It's a serious situation, but right now y'all trying to make it like my son ain't good enough for Megan. Do you see me? Let's talk about it. She said you want to marry Blueface. I would marry Dre before I married Blueface.
Why you be saying shit like that, bro? I know. Look.
Take her phone away. How about that? That's crazy.
Just saying, look at Dre. Look at Dre. Compare y'all to why I married Blueface. Look at Dre. Megan and Blue need to make a baby. Yes, I don't know why y'all was trying to act like she too good for.
Listen, Megan dodged a narcissist. You think she should go into another relationship with another one that talks to Rock the way that he do? Oh my God, that would be the craziest thing Megan could do, and Megan wouldn't even look even an inch at him. Megan Thee Stallion weighs more than Blueface. Like, if you put both of them on a scale, Megan Thee Stallion is tipping at least a good 50 in her Debbie Cakes over Blueface. So he couldn't even pick her up. I'm just saying, please do not ever think that Blueface is a prize, okay? Don't get me wrong. I still think Krishan Rock is trash. I said that on that video. I low-key don't want to keep talking about them anymore. They're not going to be talked about in this video. They're really irritating to me. So it is what it is. But Blueface isn't no prize either. So let's not, confuse the two. I really think a lot of the issues that come from Blueface come through the mama, and that's why he acts the way that he do. So everybody already knows that, right? Mia, you guys, is separating from Gordon. Now this comes to me as a shock. Mia, are you financially ready to be free from Gordon? That is insane. Y'all know I'm going to be covering Housewives of Potomac. Potentially might do an after show depending, but I'll be doing the recaps on there. The fact that they're divorcing to me is insane. I thought that Mia was a lot more codependent on Gordon than she's looking to be now. It didn't seem like they would be able to be apart. I think this is a little bit of a mistake on Mia's part. I'm sorry. From what we seen on the show, Gordon seemed like he treated her like gold. It reminded me a lot of NeNe and Greg. But what we see on the show is only a small percentage of what goes on in their actual lives. So who knows what goes behind the scenes. But just from what we saw on the show and just off the show, he seemed like a catch to Mia. Because Mia's not a cheap girl. You could tell she likes expensive stuff and she likes to kind of be taken care of. And it looked like, he was doing that. So I'm excited to see how this season, not excited, but I'm interested to see how this season's going to go with that whole divorce between them, because that came to me as a huge shock. I just didn't ever see that coming, like, ever. I know they had a lot of financial issues, but the way that Gordon moves, I feel like this might be a financial stunt. I smell a stunt. I feel like it's a stunt that they're pulling off for some financial ruins that they may allegedly be going through.
I smell a stunt.
Because I remember last season at the reunion, they were questioning her when she couldn't give us a straight answer. They started laughing at her because she couldn't keep up with lies and stuff that she was saying. So I feel like they're doing this to protect and to cover up certain stuff. That's just my best guess on that. I'm just saying. All right. So Drake, you guys, was at his Atlanta concert, and he forgot some of the words at the concert. So he started doing some monologues. Okay. He tapped into his acting skills and he started saying monologues and soliloquies. The reason why I think this happened is a lot of these artists' mistakes. They putting out too much albums with a whole lot of songs on there. This is why I think Bruno Mars deserves his flowers. Bruno Mars puts out music with not a lot of tracks and puts out albums with not a lot of tracks, but every single song on that album is a no skip. I don't give a crap. Argue me with your mama. Okay? Bruno Mars will put out an album, he'll put like 10 songs, maybe 12. Every song is fire. You cannot skip it, from Versace on the floor. Okay? You can't. You go to 24K Magic. He has 9 songs. An Evening with Silk Sonic. 10 songs. Unorthodox Jukebox. 10 songs. when you got all these songs, you're prone to forget the lyrics. I think a lot of people made a bigger deal than what it is. This man has a lot of albums, and he has a whole lot of songs in them. He tried to go down the Renaissance route. That was probably a lot of the tracks that he forgot, in my opinion. Okay, so I think a lot of artists need to start going down the Bruno Mars route, because that sort of avoids situations like this from happening, because you're going to know all of your catalog, because you're not going to have that much songs to really remember. Because just because the artist puts out that music and that song don't mean they wrote the whole entire track. So he probably had a whole lot of songs that was co-written on that he did not remember, and that's why he started slipping and forgetting that song. I did see some of my entertainers that I follow go out to the album. Let me go out to his concert and tour. Let me know if any of my entertainers went, and did he have a slip of the memory on some of the tracks on his albums during that tour. Okay, let me know what you guys think down below about some of these topics, and we are babies.
No personal thing.